Hello students, in this video we are going to learn about refraction through spherical surfaces. We have taken convex surface where the light travels from rarer to denser medium and also forming a real image. Look at the diagram here. We have taken a lens convex surface. APB is the surface and the object is kept at the point O and the light is incident at the point N on this surface, and it comes from the rarer and the light gets refracted towards the denser medium and forms the real image at the point I. I is the image, O is the object, and in between the incident light and the refracted light there is a normal drawn which is passing through center of curvature. So this is the normal drawn in between the incident and the refracted. Here is the angle of incidence I with respect to the normal, and here angle of refraction R with respect to the normal. And this object, it makes angle alpha. You can see the two rays which are traveling. Here is one and this is number 2. In between the angle alpha is there, and image, it also forms angle beta and center of curvature angle gamma. And NM is a perpendicular which is drawn. We know P is the center, that is a pole of the lens, and whatever measurement is taken, that is to be taken always with respect to the center. Here is U, object distance minus, and image distance is V, and this is the radius of curvature, that is a distance between C and P, that is PC. All measurements are written here, minus U plus R and plus V according to the diagram. Here is a rarer medium and here is a denser medium. With respect to the triangle NOC, with respect to the center of curvature, we have to measure what is angle I. So that is the sum of alpha and gamma. So alpha plus gamma we have written. Similarly for NIC, when you look at this triangle N, I and C is there. Therefore gamma is equal to R plus beta, and we can say therefore R is equal to gamma minus beta. So here we have equations 1 and 2 written for I and R, which are very important for substituting in Snell's law for refraction. Now come to this point, tan alpha, tan beta and tan gamma. All these values alpha, beta, gamma and I and R, all these angles are taken very small. Why? Because the rays are paraxial. So tan alpha is equal to alpha, tan beta is going to be beta, and tan gamma is going to be gamma itself. Now let us write all these values from the diagram. Tan alpha we are taking here, it is to be written as NM upon MO we have written. And similarly we write for tan beta, that is NM upon beta is for the image. Therefore it is MI. I have to write the denominator. Similarly we write for tan gamma, that is with respect to C, and MC should be in the denominator. Now all these measurements are to be taken with respect to center of the lens. Therefore, and this P to M, the negligible distance is there. The perpendicular is drawn in such a way that the distance is negligible. So we need to rearrange this with respect to center, and hence NM upon PO instead of MO. In the similar way we are writing here, this is equal to PI, and here also we are writing the denominator as PC. The three equations are ready now for alpha, beta and gamma. Now let us substitute here what is written for I, where I is equal to, we have written alpha plus gamma. Let us substitute this NM upon PO plus NM upon gamma is what here given PC. This is written. Now let us proceed to what is the value for R. R, what is the equation we have got? Gamma minus beta. Therefore we can also write here NM upon PC minus NM upon PI. Now we have two more equations ready, that is in terms of I and R. Okay, look at this, it is gamma minus beta, and this is nothing but alpha plus gamma. Now let us proceed to Snell's law. Snell's law of refraction. According to that, we have here sin I upon sin R, that can be written for the smaller values I by R which can be written, we know that it is the refractive index of the medium. But here there are two media, mu1 and mu2. So the numerator will take the refractive index of the medium in which the refracted light travels. The refracted ray, it is traveling now in mu2. So the numerator should take that. And the denominator, you have to see from where the light is actually coming. Incident light that comes from mu1. Therefore, we are writing mu1. Here, this is the important logic. It differs from diagram to diagram. There are 6 cases we have to discuss. In each case, we have to see this condition. Okay, this is important step. Now, let us cross multiply this. This is I into mu1, that is equal to R into mu2. Let this be equation number 3. We can also substitute, already we have kept I and R. Therefore, we can substitute here mu1 into I is equal to Nm upon Po plus Nm upon Pc. Let us also write for the right hand side where mu2 multiplied by, we have R, here we have R value, Nm upon Pc minus Nm upon Pi. This is what we have substituted the values. Now, we can cancel this term Nm numerator because we are taking it common outside and cancelling from both sides, and hence what is left here, let us write mu1 upon Po plus mu1 upon Pc, which is equal to mu2 upon Pc minus mu2 upon Pi. This is what given as equation number 4. In this equation, you are going to substitute the values u, r, v according to the signs given. So, let us go to that step. Here, mu1, and also we rearrange this Pc, we take to one side because both are having the same denominator. So, we bring it to the opposite side. So, mu1 Po, we keep it as such, and we bring this one mu2 upon Pi to the left hand side and take Pc to the other side. Now, mu2 upon Pc, okay, and we can write this also as a common term here, and this is here Pc is there minus mu1, okay, mu1, and here also Pc is a common term we have taken. We can substitute and later on also we can rearrange this. Now here we have to substitute this mu1 upon Po is minus u and plus mu2 upon Pi is plus v, that is equal to, we are writing here mu2 minus mu1 upon, what is Pc? It is R plus R, which is what given here. Therefore, how to rearrange this for the final answer? Here mu2 by v minus mu1 by u, that is equal to mu2 minus mu1 upon capital R. So this is the expected relation, and this expression, the final expression, it explains the relation between object distance, image distance, the radius of curvature, and also the refractive indices of the two media. And you can also remember the first term which is written is going to be here. The second term is going to be there in all expressions. Okay, so this is a final expression for the refraction from rarer to denser medium when the image is real through convex surface. I hope you understood this concept very well. Thank you for watching.